What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Ronda here, and I'm back with another video. So in this video, I'll be going over the GFS and American models on what to expect for the rest of this week, going into the weekend and early next week. Well, all throughout next week on what to expect according to these models. Now, these will flip back and forth, but this is as of 2 p.m. May 1st, 2026, Friday, May 1st. It's currently 11:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we do have like some severe weather that's going to break out across the south a little bit down here in Texas. Might impact that Dallas-Fort Worth area too. Is a potential that could happen. Just a few days ago, we did have a tornado that went through Texas, and one of the fatalities. There was two fatalities, but one of the fatalities, according to one article, was saying it was due to high winds because one of the fatalities, the person wasn't even in the path of the tornado. So there's been a lot of tornadoes breaking out across, let's say, Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi. I think Mississippi, Louisiana, and Arkansas and parts of Tennessee had a multi-day severe weather event. It looked like that could be going on once again as it starts across Texas. Now, this was an area it was hinting the past few days, even down in the parts of northern Mexico, on seeing that, and then eventually early next week. We do have a cold front trying to push through from up here in parts of the Midwest and up north, including New York City. Gonna have some chilly temperatures. Not cold enough to bring any snow, looks like, because that's still rain right there. But regardless, all the snow is up there in Canada. We do have a low pressure just over Maine or just north of Maine. So we move that forward going into 8 p.m. tonight. That severe weather threat do works its way across Louisiana, still stretching heavy rainfall back towards most of Texas. And then it starts getting to Mississippi as well, especially going to impact the Biloxi area, bringing heavy rain or moderate to potential heavy rainfall up towards that Jackson area, just north than part of Mississippi. It's still remaining dry, then eventually going to work its way into Alabama and then Georgia as well. Now, I can see that this potentially could happen for the Carolina moving into Saturday, May 2nd. We do at 2 a.m. That storm is still that basically rainstorm is weakening from like the thunderstorm and stuff like that part of it. It might still be some thunder here and there and lightning, but regardless, it's a washout across the entire state of Louisiana, most of Mississippi, just north of Jackson, still seeing some heavy rainfall, all the way up through Alabama, approaching Georgia. Might get some rainfall, some good amount of rainfall in Atlanta, eventually going more into the morning time, and then starts working its way into South Carolina, and then parts of eastern North Carolina down from that Brunswick County, that Wilmington, that Jacksonville, that Moorhead, out into Hill Devil Hills, Kitty Hawk, parts of the Outer Banks. You start seeing that rain start going around 2 a.m. in the morning. Now, as of 8 a.m. tomorrow, I can see why the National Weather Service, I wouldn't be surprised if flood advisories is already being issued, or watches, actually flood watches being issued for parts of eastern North Carolina for this reason. The National Weather Service has been saying it's basically a 90 to 100% chance of rain coming for Saturday, May 2nd. The situation with that is they're calling for parts of, well, at least for my area in eastern North Carolina, 1 to 2 inches of rain. That might help out with this drought that we've been under, because we've been under a burn ban for over a month. They might lift that, but I mean, it's a possibility, but we do need the rain. So 1 to 2 inches of rain is possible for basically the entire part of eastern North Carolina. That rainstorm is working its way up the towards the Carolinas and then potentially southeastern Virginia. We do have a low pressure trying to get going off the coast of North Carolina, kind of near the Outer Banks a little bit. So it might be feeding more moisture from the moisture that was already coming back from Texas around 8 a.m. So you're waking up across the Carolinas, across Alabama, across Georgia. You start seeing basically a washout. And then that rain starts getting even heavier by 2 p.m. May 2nd. So I'm guarantee you some of these roads back here, like the back roads and stuff that's not going to see much um, sun or anything like that, is going to definitely be some closures across parts of North Carolina. Now, if this was going on during the week, luckily this happening on the weekend, and hopefully we get plenty of sunshine going into Sunday to get some of those floods away, because I guarantee you, especially the Outer Banks, as that low pressure right there is definitely going to bring a lot of heavy rainfall across basically the entire state of North Carolina, except the mountains might be dealing with some dry, but it's going to be pretty chilly too. And then it looks like most of that rain starts approaching up north by 8 p.m. tomorrow. So I mean, for us to get 1 to 2 inches of rain tomorrow, that rain is going to be pouring down heavily according to the GFS. Then we're stretching down to northern Florida. It needs some of that rainfall too for those wildfires. Hopefully that help out with that definitely gonna help out with those wildfires across Georgia as well. We're going out to watch New York City area to see if we're gonna get any flooding from that as well. Is that low pressure gonna curve a little bit more this way, a little bit more west, and impact New York City, because that will bring a lot of flooding to like the subways and stuff like that. They really don't have the infrastructure for flooding like that because they're more equipped to snow. So they have a lot of snow plows and stuff like that for the winter. Versus if you go further down south, let's use Florida as an example, you really won't hear no snow plows in Florida. They're more equipped for hurricanes and stuff like that. So vice versa, you got to be prepared for everything. Can't leave you guys forgotten out west, but down here in California, Oregon, you might be seeing some spotty rain showers here and there. It seems pretty warm out there, even across Washington State, even up into parts of Canada. It might be a little bit warm. I'll be chilling in some areas as well, because we do have towards the eastern part of Canada that cold front is so cold. It's bringing light to moderate, excuse me, light to moderate snowfall. But regardless, that low pressure that was previously off the coast of the Carolinas around May 2nd, about May 3rd at 2 p.m. It seemed like it's trying to make a curve west. Might impact Maine a little bit. Might. And if it get into that cold air up there, it might be some strong snow, but it looks like that won't happen. Do gotta watch down here going into May 4th, by 2 a.m. that we could potentially see a severe weather outbreak break out across parts of Florida, including that Miami, Fort Lauderdale area. I think it's Dade County in general. Just gonna have to watch out. Even the Keys down there are gonna have to watch out for severe weather as that storm starts going a little bit, get a little stronger as you get more into the Atlantic. We do have a snowstorm up here in northern Canada. Might bring some winter weather watches for parts of up here in the Midwest for those states that's along the Canadian border. Lost my train of thought there. Then we do have look like some moderate rainfall moving its way through parts of Kentucky, West Virginia, and potentially might head into Virginia. It looks like that do weaken though. Yeah, I do weaken. Might see some spotty rain showers in northern Virginia. Then we do have to watch out for another severe weather outbreak that tries to get going across parts of the Midwest. Back towards the West Coast, though, we do have some spotty rain showers, those areas right there. But this is the area we're just gonna have to watch out for a potential severe weather outbreak if that plays out. It seemed like it's gonna more be a rain event, less than a severe weather, but it is possible for a tornado to pop up. We did have EF4 that stayed on the ground in Oklahoma for 30 minutes, only injured 10 people, but imagine that would have been worse. The EF4, we all know how big an EF4 tornado is, so I mean, it's some wild stuff going on across the United States for us in the weather. We supposed to have a below average to near average hurricane season, but it's still, don't let your guard down, because I mean it just takes one hurricane. We all saw how Hurricane Helene impacted Western North Carolina, which should teach every state that that even if you have a mountain or not, on the damage a tropical storm can do. Because Hurricane Helene did make landfall on Florida as a hurricane. If I'm not mistaken, it did make its way up here to, it did go up here to North Carolina. It didn't go up towards the coast though. We still got heavy rainfall, strong winds and stuff like that. But it was a strong tropical storm when it got to the mountains. The problem with the mountains in North Carolina, uh, it's not really meant for that amount of rainfall for that amount of time, because I mean it could cause landslides and all that other stuff, which to the point they had to send military from other states and stuff like that to Western North Carolina. There's documentaries on that for you guys who don't know about Hurricane Helene. I'm pretty sure everybody know about the devastation that caused, because till this day, Hurricane Helene for Western North Carolina, they're still recovering from that as of May 1st, 2026. So regardless, we do have moderate rain showers going on across this general region right here. Probably gonna make its way up north, impact the New York City area eventually, probably. Yep, it does. Kind of bringing a washout just north of New York City, but regardless, it is possible going into May 6th. Spotty rain showers stretching from the mountains of North Carolina down to Atlanta, parts of northern Alabama, Mississippi, or southern Arkansas, northern Louisiana, and eastern Texas. And then we gotta watch out for May 6th around 8 p.m. We could potentially see another severe weather outbreak break out across the same exact spots that previously just had those floods and stuff like that from the previous severe event. Now, this is going to be for parts of Arkansas, northern Louisiana, Mississippi. I'll include that Jackson area too, Alabama, and potentially going to do the exact same thing. This weekend might go on. Now, we do have to watch for Mississippi and all of Alabama, and parts of Georgia, including I can include that Atlanta area as well for seeing some possible tornadoes, multiple tornadoes around May 7th at 2 a.m. wee hours in the morning. Then that works its way up through the Carolinas, still some severe weather back towards eastern Alabama. Um, Georgia, Atlanta seem like you guys can mainly be in the clear now as of 8 a.m. But regardless, you might still see some light rainfall, but we don't know where the track of this is going to go. Cause again, we're days out from this even happening. If the GFS even holds on to this, it's still pretty quiet out towards the West Coast, by the way. But then eastern North Carolina could see more rainfall, but it looked like that do weaken a little bit, yeah. And then it turns into kind of like a blizzard up here. Rain snow night mix. So I mean, it's rain on the west top part of it, of that right here, and then we have snow in the dead smack middle, heavy snow. Then east of it, we have rainfall. So I mean, regardless, it's gonna be an active weather pattern. We can go ahead and switch to the European model. Don't want to hold you guys too long. If it switches. Okay, there we go. We can rewind that. This is the European model, so we can go ahead and start off. This was as of 5 a.m. this morning, May 1st. That's about the same spot. Severe weather going on across Texas, Colorado. Seeing some parts of Colorado seeing light snowfall. Then that weekends throughout the day, and then we still going by 11 a.m. We still have that severe weather going on across parts of Texas. It works its way into Louisiana, works its way into Mississippi as a washout. We gotta watch down here along that Gulf side of Texas for multiple tornadoes could pop out. Gulf side as hell is possible. Looking at that according to the European. 8 p.m. coming into for May 1st. We still have that washout going through parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, including Jackson, Alabama, and then we're going into South Carolina. I mean Georgia. It seems like it's not going to really impact Atlanta though, so that's kind of a good thing. Then eventually working its way into the Carolinas by this weekend. It's a lot weaker though for the spread of the rain for the Carolinas. Now the triangle out towards the mountains is pretty dry. Eastern North Carolina getting some rainfall around 5 a.m. Decent amount of rainfall. Probably thunderstorms at times. Just south of Myrtle Beach, we do have some severe weather down towards that Georgia, South Carolina line, and then still stretching down into the Gulf side for southern Mississippi and parts of Alabama. Still seeing some severe weather. Move that forward though. That Raleigh area seems like you're gonna get up on some rain eventually by 8 a.m. So this seems like a little slower time frame, and not really as intense. Low pressure is further south off the coast of basically that state line of South Carolina and Georgia. We is getting a good amount of rainfall potentially for Georgia to help out with those wildfires and northern Florida. We still have that washout ongoing across eastern North Carolina, including the Outer Banks. The Outer Banks is kind of going to be my concern. Will there be any strong winds with that? With the ocean, because we know I think it's Highway 12 in the Outer Banks. It's prone to flooding. I mean, regardless, no matter what they do, it just floods like crazy. The tiniest storm, strong winds. I mean, back when that blizzard happened back in January or towards February, that happened in the Carolinas for the bomb cyclone that stalled off the coast. I mean, they was getting hit with a mixture of rain, then eventually got straight into heavy snowfall, and then the wind. Then just imagine sand being blown on top of the wind from the snowstorm, and then that ocean was already rocking. So you can only imagine that was just a mess out there. Sand, water, it just no. And then at 11 a.m. May 2nd, we still dealing with that washout for the Carolinas. So that's really gonna help out with the drought. Low pressure is starting to form near that Moorhead area. Might be some windy conditions out towards the Outer Banks, and then that eventually takes off towards the northeast. It grazes in parts of New York City, but not really too much of a concern. You still got to watch out for southern Florida, especially that Miami area around 2 p.m. May 3rd for seeing any severe weather, but that don't look like nothing you guys can't handle. Then it seems like the United States probably get quiet. Yeah, the United States get quiet according to the GFS. For the most part, some light rain showers. We do have some storm activity out here into the Atlantic, just not too far from Florida and Georgia. But it seemed like that's not going to bother anybody. And then we still have to watch out for some moderate rainfall, potentially flooding up here for California. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, be notified each and every time your boy upload a new video. And I will see you guys in the next one if it's God's will. Stay safe out there. And again, make sure you prepare for this washout going across from Texas, Louisiana, parts in Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, well, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and he guys up towards the northeast. You have to be careful. We don't know where this track gonna exactly go, but it is possible to head west or stay out and continue heading east. So with that being said, it's your boy Arande out.